And thank you so much, sir. The microphone is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Chaplain Minor. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to, let's see, put this up first. Can everybody see my screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. That's all I need. All right. So good evening, everyone. Chaplain Minor says I am Chaplain Van Don Williams. I am one of the staff instructors for your Chaplain Emergency Service School, which is based out of NISA. And I'm going to kind of take you through a little bit of how ChESS, our Emergency Service School, got started and the reason for it, and as well as the overview of what we're now switching the paradigm of our emergency service for the Chaplain Corps into Chaplain Support Teams. And so I'm going to show you two small PowerPoints, and then I will take your questions and answers after that. Most of all, just a brief history of myself. Yes, I started out in the Northeast region. I was the group chaplain for New York City. My brother recruited 8 of 11 of his siblings, including his mother, to be part of this squadron. And so I became a chaplain in 1999, and I became a group chaplain in 2000, just about 2000, 2001. I became the wing chaplain of New York in 2001 after following in the heels of my mother, Chaplain Barbara Williams, who was the New York wing chaplain. I became the wing chaplain, did that through 9/11, and became the Northeast Region chaplain in 2005. I stayed on that job for 6 years, did the full term as a region chaplain until 2011, and where I was then brought on to national, and I became the National Deputy Chief of Chaplains for your administration, and then over professional development, which is our chaplain staff colleges. After my term at national, I relocated down to Georgia to be closer to national, and so I've been here ever since. And now I serve as the Deputy Region Chaplain over the Southeast region and interim wing chaplain for Puerto Rico. My background you'll find in the bio that will be sent to you. I've been also not only chaplain of the region, but also a director, national director of the Critical Incident Stress Management and for the Northeast region. So I bring a couple of hats to this, but most of all, I wanted to tell this group, and I look at this as a historic group of our first virtual training course of any, and we're talking about 125 participants all at one time at a chaplain staff college. That is to be commended. And so I want to thank each and every one of you. Some of you I know personally, some of you I've had in some of our staff training. So I'm going to go over some things that'll be familiar to others, to some, and unfamiliar to others, but we'll get through that and through your questions. And then you can ask me whatever your heart's desire for ChESS, and we'll see if we can get that answered. So part of this is briefly how our original emergency service was going, and how we were dealing with emergency services in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So we had the role of the CAP mission chaplain. Move forward, let's go. Okay, so the mission chaplain, okay, was the chaplain staff officer, commonly called the mission chaplain, usually was the highest ranking chaplain involved in the mission. So I'm showing you what we did, and then I'm going to show you where we are now. Mission chaplain ministers to both the spiritual and emotional needs of all individuals, families, and mission staff alike. The chaplain arranges for the religious services or observances of on the appropriate days and on on other holy days of obligation. The mission chaplain may serve as a liaison for victims' families, providing information on the progress of the mission and coordinating the family's needs. When serious injury or loss of life has occurred, the mission chaplain may provide pastoral care to the mission staff, victims, survivor, and their family. Now, I want you to note this. We are talking about what? The mission chaplain. Remember that, the mission chaplain. Okay, chaplains are an integral part of the incident command system. So without a mission chaplain, the mission cannot be adequately accomplished. The emotional and spiritual needs that occur within an individual as a result of the mission should be attended to by a chaplain. Incidents without chaplain's presence, support, and ministry are at risk of leaving persons with unresolved issues that may cause serious mental and physical health issues for all persons involved. Now, take into account just some of the little things that we're talking about at a mission base. Here's a chaplain is looking at the spiritual needs and looking over the staff. You also have our ground teams. You have our air crews. You have incident command posts. You have staging areas. If there is just one chaplain for a mission, how would we be able to accomplish that? Or how will we be able to accomplish that if we only had one or two mission chaplains for such a big mission, such as a hurricane? So just keep that in mind as we'll go through these slides, why we're doing what we're doing now in the new ChESS program. And I'm sure Chaplain, Chief Murdoch could support me on this, but I do believe back in the our late 80s, early 90s, in our regulations, the incident command staff had this as part of their regulation. Incident commander, you see there's a slot for mission chaplain, information officer, mission safety officer, and liaison officer. And that made up the incident command staff where we were doing emergency services in the late 80s, early 90s, and even before that. Somewhere down the road, some of this got taken out. And for a time, if I'm not mistaken, in that incident command staff, mission chaplain was not in that box. So this has had to been a work that has been done over the years to make sure that this is back in here. And I'll give you the interesting note to why ChESS is where it is now because of the incident command school at NISA. So that is what ideally is supposed to look like for the IC staff at a mission base. Okay. So part of what you will do if you decide to continue in with your emergency service requirements to become a mission chaplain or a chaplain support specialist, part of our requirements, pre-requirements, is the knowledge of the incident command system. And most of this is what CAP requires of these FEMA courses. Everybody should complete at least incident command courses 100, 200, 700. As you go into more advanced level training, 800 would be one, as well as 300 and 400. But for what we're doing, this is what we're requiring as a prerequisite, that you have 100, 200, and 700. Okay, this mission chaplain had to have the knowledge of the mission-based facilities and resources, demonstration of the role of the mission chaplain on a search and rescue or disaster relief mission, and then the specifics of this new MC program, the Chaplain Corps Academy at NISA, will now be discussed. So what I wanted to just give you a little preview of, there were so many things in these little slides that a mission chaplain would have had to have done and had to have known. And to be able to have all of that on your plate and you be the only one at a mission base is virtually hard to do and hard to accomplish, as well as to try to meet the needs of the spiritual, emotional of the base and of others, crews or ground teams that will be coming through. And so there had to be a paradigm shift in how we looked at doing emergency service and mission chaplaincy. So the last part of this mission chaplain would have had to have the understanding of the CAP mission chaplain preparedness, a universal alert system, and mission operational procedures. So a lot of these tasks were listed above must be completed and signed off by qualified and certified mission chaplain instructors or a wing chaplain who is set qualified. And over the years, we have had we didn't have enough chaplains being mission chaplain qualified or having enough of a chaplain corps set to be able to do this type of mission work. So let me take you to where we are now, taking the chaplain corps to the next level. And it's called the CAP Chaplain Corps Mission Chaplain and Chaplain Support Specialist. Okay, Mission Specialty Training Program and our Chaplain Corps Academy program. And then I'll tell you why we're going to Chaplain Support Specialist. Okay, so this is what happened and why we're led to where we are now. The need to acquire a sufficient cadre of trained, qualified mission chaplains and GS, General Emergency Service qualified CDI personnel, adequately equipped to respond to and support large-scale, long-term, sustained missions in the CAP has long been a pressing issue for our chaplain corps. This need was also addressed in a finding and directive by the Secretary of Defense following the inquiry into the Fort Hood shooting in early 2013. And here is the finding and the directive. Finding 56. It said the Civil Air Patrol Chaplain Corps Region Staff College does not include training on mass casualty response. And finding 56.1 continues. The Air Force Chief of Chaplains and the CAP should review and update Chaplain Corps Region Staff College training to ensure CAP chaplains are prepared to respond to the full range of emergencies to include mass casualties. So this was part of one of the reasons why we had to evolve into what we are doing now. And as a result, the finding and directive has resulted in the establishment of a new mission chaplain training program. The process, which will determine being designated a mission chaplain, MC, for chaplain appointed personnel. Remember that, for chaplain appointed personnel, or a chaplain support specialist, CSS, for CDI appointed personnel. Now, let me stop here for just 1 second before I go on and talk about this CDI. Or in my days when I was coming up, we were MLOs, Moral Leadership Officers. And even though I was part of the Chaplain Corps, in order for me to work in emergency services and being on a mission, I had to become a mission staff assistant, which was an MSA, which I could have been a comms person. I could have been on the ground team. I could be a mission scanner. But my designation as an MLO did not allow me to work in cohesion with that mission chaplain. And so that was the only way that I could work in emergency services, was to become a mission staff assistant. And that way I was able to work at different tasks, being a comms person, a reliever comms person, or do something on a ground team. But that was the only way. Even though I was part of the chaplain corps, I was separated when it became emergency service. And so this is part of what we have worked at in this program, and you'll get to see that if you take the class, hint, hint, and I'll talk about that at the end, of why it's important that this chaplain corps can now work together, not only as a chaplain, but as a CDI in emergency service. So your results are a chaplain support element to be utilized in emergency service operations consisting of a mission chaplain, MC, and a chaplain support specialist, which will be referred to as the chaplain support team. And I'll go into that in my other presentation. So that is the reason for this paradigm shift in how mission chaplain or emergency service for the chaplain corps has to evolve. The findings and the directives from the Department of Defense and from the Air Force. And so it had to help us to change some of the things we were doing at our chaplain staff colleges to also reflect what was happening in our real world events and real world missions. Okay. So the chaplain support team, and I'll go into that specifically, will comprise of one mission chaplain and one chaplain support specialist at the CAP support level. So if we're doing a strictly CAP mission, that we're called that for a chaplain support team to go out, there will be a chaplain support team will be made up of one mission chaplain and one CSS. Now, it's not to say that we cannot have more than one chaplain support team out on a mission, but that support team will be made up of one MC and one CSS. This is at the CAP support level. Now, at the disaster support level, the advanced level, or real world missions, or hurricanes, or any other things that affect us in this country, at that advanced level, or working with FEMA, we will now have a chaplain support team made up of two mission chaplains and one CSS at the disaster support level. Okay. Now, I know you have questions. I'm kind of hoping that you'll hold on to them, and I'll try to give you some of the more of the information you need. And then when you ask me the question, we'll be able to go right back through it. Okay. So let me tell you your designations, and then we'll go into how this program is working. The mission chaplain designation for chaplain appointed personnel. Now, understand this. Going forward in emergency services, to be a mission chaplain, you have to be appointed. You cannot self-appoint, and the commander cannot appoint you. You have to be appointed by the chief of chaplains. I didn't get an amen, but that's okay. All right, so I'll go on. All right, it'll be reflected. I'm going to show you 2 of the 3 ratings. Thank you, thank you. Somebody is still awake. Okay, so the mission chaplain designation for chaplain appointed personnel will be reflected in, I'm going to talk about 2 ratings for the mission chaplain trainees. Okay, first one is mission chaplain CAP support rating, and that designation is MC-CS. This is the primary MC designation for all chaplain appointed personnel. When you receive this rating, this is a no expire rating, meaning once you have completed this program and this training, you're a mission chaplain with no expire. For our advanced level is mission chaplain disaster support rated, which is MC-CS. This is the advanced optional by choice designation for those individuals who desire to go on to do more advanced ES training, which is more real world missions, more things that might have to deal with FEMA and things that are going past more than one wing or one state or one region. And so this is the advanced rating that you can receive, MC-DS, disaster support. Okay. Now, this third rating, I want you to see this, but I want you to know that this rating at this point, at right now, is under construction. It is being changed, and you will hear about this third rating when I get off the, when I finish my presentation. There'll be another instructor coming on to talk to you about the third rating, okay? So right now, I just want you to recognize that if you're in emergency services and you want to be a mission chaplain, CAP support rating with no expire, you can be that. If you want to go to the advanced level and become mission chaplain, disaster support rated, you can become that. That is optional. That one you have to renew every 3 years. And you can only do the disaster support training at NISA in Indiana. Okay, now for the CDIs, the new CSS rating, the Chaplain Support Specialist, and that is what your designation will be in emergency services now with the Chaplain Corps, okay? Your designation for again, a CDI appointed personnel. The CDI has to be appointed by the chief in order for you to receive this designation, okay? And you're reflected in 2 ratings for Chaplain Support Specialist trainee. The first one is Chaplain Support Specialist, CAP, CSS-CS. This will be a primary designation for all CDI appointed personnel and prepares them to be able to support the mission chaplain in all CAP duty and mission activity as part of the Chaplain Support Team, okay? The second rating that you'll get is CSS-DS, which is Chaplain Support Specialist, Disaster Support Rating. And this will be the advanced designation for those individuals who desire to do more advanced ES training and will prepare them to support the MC in all real world DR, SAR, natural disaster, mass casualty missions. CAP would be called upon to respond to all and support as part of the Chaplain Support Team. Now, let me say this to you, and I want everybody to hear me clearly. Chaplain Support Specialists in emergency services in this program are not gophers. They do not make the coffee. They do not go for this. They do not go for that. A Chaplain Support Specialist in this program is a highly efficient and intelligent person that is part of our Chaplain Corps that I know of from since 2016 when we've started this program. We have CDIs that are doctors, that are nurses, that are clinicians, that have different specialties that bring to the table what a mission chaplain cannot handle by himself or by herself. And so that's why it's important that when we made this paradigm shift and put this together, that we knew we had CDIs that could function and could do more things to help the chaplain at this mission base or at that incident command post or that staging area, be more effective in what we do. And so now the rest of Civil Air Patrol's emergency service teams, our air crew, our ground teams can look and see that this is not just an individual, but it is a team. And if you understand anything about emergency service and disasters and missions, if you look out at FEMA, nobody comes to a disaster by themselves. They come as a team. CAP sends their planes up. That is a team, that is a crew. When we send our ground teams out, we don't send out an individual ground team member. We send out a team. So, does the Chaplain Corps fit in by us having chaplain support teams, being able to be in the mission and work simultaneously and integrate into what FEMA does and what CAP wants us to do. And so that is a reason why it's very important for all chaplains that are taking this course and are going to go into emergency service and become mission chaplain, that you get to know that CSS and realize what kind of blessing and what you have as a person that has resources that will be able to help you to mitigate and manage that incident that you may be at. And so that's why we're putting this together and making it chaplain support teams, so that we don't go out individually anymore, but we are a team like the rest of CAP. Okay, you'll find on e-services and your squitters, your specialty qualification training records. These are the new ones. They are now online and we're using them now. We're just, we're waiting for the regulations to catch up to us, the 80-1. And when it does, all of this is already taking place. This will be used to put in for your ops qual and anything else that you do. And so you'll see this if you go online and go into e-services and operations and go to your ops qual, you'll see the new MC CSS squitters, and it'll show you the things that you'll need to be signed off on. Okay. Once the regulations and all of this has been finally authorized and sent on, these are our badges and patches that you'll be able to wear. MC basic cap support and CSS basic cap support. We're still waiting for the approval from that to be done, but once the regulations and all of that is completed, these are what we have put up for our personnel to be able to wear. Okay, so the establishment of all these training venues at our annual CAP is at our annual CAP National Emergency Service Academy in the summer, and which will be known, is now known as the Chaplain Emergency Service School. Now, this at NISA, ChESS is under the umbrella of the Incident Command School. So out of the Incident Command School is where this ChESS school is under. So if you're talking about meeting new incident commanders and those that are in the planning committee and all planning areas and other areas of incident command system, what better way for them to get to know the Chaplain Corps than for us to be there on a daily basis and give them a presentation, and also be there in case as a incident command trainee may have a bad day, that there is a chaplain and a chaplain support team that is there to be of assistance to that school. So when you come to NISA, where our school is, you're not just coming for the training, we're putting you to work. You may be part of a ground team school. You may be part of the air crew school. You may be part of the incident command school. And this gives the Chaplain Corps the presence that is needed for emergency service. And so that the new commanders, the new incident commanders now get an understanding and see how we operate. And now it'll be much easier, or we're hoping it'll be much better for them to see. Now they can actually draw on this chaplain support team to be at a mission base and can request that. So that was one of the reasons for having our school at NISA where all of our schools are at. And we were able to be blessed to be under the Incident Command School. And so now we're talking to all new incident commanders and those that are in trainees to become that, why they need to have a chaplain support team with them at mission. All right, I'm going to skip this because we've gone past running 3 times a year. This was our first beta class. One of y'all will see that young fella, the fourth one from the right, was in our school. Yes.
Hey, look at that guy.
Yeah,
He needs
we had to put him in timeout several times during the course of that week, but somehow he managed to make it through. Bless him.
And the guy standing next to him would try.
Amen,
Yes.
and amen, and amen again.
Okay. Let me stop share this for a minute. Do I have any questions? And I'll quickly go into our smaller segment of the overall. Yes.
I have a question. Okay,
Is this, wait. Is this CSS Deborah Mann?
Yeah, and
You may not ask a question.
And
Next person.
No, my CSS expires and we don't have NISA this year. So what do we do about the 2-year and renew again when we don't have school? Does this count? By the way, I'm here the whole time.
So you'll see what I'm dealing with, right? Okay.
And I made a good comment in the chat to support what we do. Besides not being gophers, we actually help support y'all. I said that.
Okay. Well, I haven't been able to get onto the chat yet, but to answer your question, because a lot of things are still being worked out at national, we have some glitches that are being worked out as we speak. So even though yours looks like it says expired, it is not. Trust me, this will be handled in this time. We're just working through some things with national. Some things have been changed, some things have been put back in. So it's just been a little bit of some glitches that we're continuing to work out. So hang in there, you're not expired.
I have part two. I have part two real quick. Okay, part two of a question. Oh,
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we stay with the same format and please
Yes.
ask your questions in the chat room and in Moodle, please? So
Okay.
that's where our questions need to come from. So please type your questions.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's our usual.
That's where it is? Okay.
Everybody's so familiar with you, Chaplain Williams, and darn it, everybody wants to talk. So let's ask our questions in the chat room. Chaplain Williams, are there anything in the Moodle or chat room that you'd like to?
Well, I see right here, I'll answer Chaplain Otero, this MCAF rating, it is changing for the good, and that will be talked about with the next presentation. Okay?
Very good.
Okay.
Tim, yes, we have questions in Moodle. First one, I was in the Alpha Group chess training and completed the course. My 101 card shows MCCS but has training symbol. Why is that?
Because they have not made the adjustment as of yet. These are one of the glitches that we are working through. So I just need all of the people that were in the Alpha Group. Okay, I am myself personally going to put and submit your information in. It should have been done another way, but right now we're going to have to do it this way until we get the glitches straight. So just hang in there. Like anything, we're evolving this, and we do have a couple of national people on in our Bravo group right now, and so we'll be able to work this out. Hopefully by the time we get done with this class, we'll have this done. But Alpha Group, I am submitting your ops quals myself. And so we'll see how that works. And if not, then we'll just have to take it to national and make sure that it gets done. Okay?
Next question. Why is it necessary to have our mission chaplains have the training in the various ICS classes, 100, 800, etc.?
Well, these are classes that are more or less prerequisites for what you need if you're working with FEMA. And with most of our CAP, emergency service, most of us have had to take over the last 20 years, ICS 100, 200, and 700. So 800 gives you a little bit more of the National Incident Management System, the NIMS. So this is just helping to, so that you have the background in case FEMA calls us, that you have the same training and you're gone through some of the same nomenclature that is needed to work on real world and missions outside of CAP, national disaster.
Okay, my system's a little slow here. Why don't we go to
Okay.
Jessica, who's been monitoring the questions in chat?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Our first question is, how do you see Chaplain Support Team working during this time of COVID-19?
With a mask? No. All right, let me stop. How do we see it? That's a good question. So far, that I know of here in the Southeast region, we have not been tasked to go out on a mission, a COVID-19 mission so far. Now, I'm saying that won't change, but I believe that that's probably some of the things that is being worked out by National and the chief on what we need to do and how we need to do that. A lot of us are, like we say, we're in this stay-at-home position, and a lot of things that we're doing with CAP, we're doing like we are right now. But when it happens, I'm sure we're going to probably send out some new directives that will be in line with what National wants us to do. That's about as best as I can explain that. Is that okay?
Yes, my apologies, I was unmuting.
no
I
problem.
thought I was unmuted. Can two mission chaplains function as a team and not have a CSS?
To answer the question, I could say yes, but then the answer really is no. Because when we're expecting, now understand this, chaplains, if we have two chaplains at a real world mission, one of the chaplains is going to be the senior chaplain. Unless that CSS, who is part of this chaplain support team, gets sick and cannot function, then yes, the chaplain, one of the chaplains would have to be able to handle part of that duty. But what we would do then is request that another chaplain support team be sent immediately to that mission, if it's at all possible. But this is what we're trying to make sure that we can do, is always have two mission chaplains and a chaplain support specialist at a disaster service mission.
Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and answer one more or ask one more question, and then I'll go over to the other Chaplain Williams. A lot of questions about when will the courses be offered. A lot of people are mission chaplains right now and would like to promote but can't. When will this be offered?
Okay, as of right now, we have a virtual training course. The ChESS program is just like you're doing now, being that you are a historic class anyway of virtual training, Region State, Chaplain Corps Region Staff College. This is the first of its kind with 134 participants. I'm blown away. Well, we have just in the next room, virtual training Chaplain Emergency Service School class going on. It is made up of 100 participants. Now, we couldn't do 100 participants in one shot. So we broke it up into 3 groups, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, with the designation of a Delta group and Echo group if it is requested. And then what I mean by requested, we're going to send out another invitation in August for this ChESS training to be done. And if you'll sign up for that, we're going to put that out in August. Then you'll be set to come in for Delta and Echo starting in September. And that will take Delta to October, and then Echo will go from October to the beginning of November. So we are planning to have 2 more additional classes. And right now we're working on Bravo, which is the 2nd group. And then Charlie will start in August. And then if you want to take this training, and let me emphasize this, this is the first time we're working through the glitches and all of this as well. But this Chaplain MC CSS CAP support training, we're doing now by virtual training course. This is the only course that we will be doing via this venue. If you want to go into the advanced level or the disaster service training, you will have to go to NISA. So just be looking out. I'm sure Chaplain Minor is going to put this out when we send out the registration again in late August for those that want to take this ChESS training. You'll be able to do it again, sign up, and we will put you in those 2 groups, Delta and Echo.
Chaplain Van Don Williams, did you have more to, as part of your presentation?
I think I kind of basically had done what I need to say. My other presentation I kind of talked about. So if I'm over my time,
No.
I can stop at that.
No, we have time for a couple more questions.
Okay.
Chaplain Jeff Williams, did you have some, sir?
If you complete the ChESS as a CDI, then become a chaplain, do you have to take ChESS again? Is it slightly different course for chaplains versus CDI?
There may be just a few different prerequisites. So, and some of that is changing, but that is the difference between the course that you have to take. So if the CDI takes the ChESS training, okay, and then becomes a mission chaplain, then you'll just become MC CAP support rated. The only difference is you might have to take an additional FEMA course that is different than what the CSS will take.
Okay. Let's see, from Florida, I just looked under OPSQUALS SQTR, and there are no documents listed for CDIs or chaplain. It looks like I'll have to take a look at what you're doing here.
Yeah, well, this is why we have Bob Ditch, Dr. Bob Ditch in the Bravo class. We're talking with Ron Olean. There were some things that should have been set, but and this is part of one of the big glitches. But we're working through that. We just want everybody to be patient, because once the 80-1 is the emergency service regulation has been authorized, then all of these things should fall into place. And whatever we're not doing, they will do automatically. So I want to make sure that we assure people that you're not taking this course and not be validated.
Okay, is attending NISA the only way that we will be able to attain the various MC qualifications? Will there be other venues? Now, I know that we're doing the basic online.
Right.
But you're going to reiterate that otherwise you're going to attend the week in Indiana, correct?
Well, we're doing this basic course online right now. We can still do that at NISA as well. But if we're doing 5 or 6 of these online, then we're going to, at this moment, we could change our mind, but at this moment, we're going to designate those 2 weeks at NISA for the advanced training. And the reason why we're doing the advanced training, you have to be there for the advanced training, is because it's really more hands-on than anything else. you're going to be put in situations where you need to know what's in your 24-hour to-go bag, your to-go pack. What's in your 72-hour pack? If we put you out with the ground team overnight, do you have the things that you need? If we send you out with the air school, and so this is a part of your disaster thing, and of course at NISA they have a lot of the scenarios and like we work with I know CSS man, I'm going to get it wrong, but with WAFA, with
Good to go, sir.
yes, that group, and you're actually out amongst planes, and you know, the scenario is set up for you to be able to go into that environment, and so that's what makes the DS training a little bit more harder to try to get done online. And it's really more face-to-face, hand-to-hand, and you're going to get to know your chaplain support team and then where you need to be at.
Okay, the other questions that we have in Moodle, I will submit to you
Okay.
in email because there's some, several of them that are pretty similar. Jessica, do you have any additional ones that you wanted to bring up?
I have a couple. Our first one is, can the new badge be substituted for the old CDI badge immediately, or are there some qualifications that are required?
Well, any of the badges right now, the badges that I showed you are not, they're not made by Vanguard at this time. So nothing can be substituted until our chaplain corps regulation has been signed off, as well as the 80-1. Once that's done, then once Vanguard makes those, then you'll be able to substitute that for the CDI badge.
All right. And will there be online class to get certification for CSS?
Yes, that is part of that ChESS virtual training course, which is in the next room and Zoom. So the CSS and the mission chaplain, this ChESS training is for both entities, both for the chaplain and for the CDI. And when you come into this class, you will be put into that environment of being a chaplain support team. So you're not going to be together with somebody that you know in your wing or somebody in your region. You may be put on a team with somebody that is totally from another region. And all of this is about one thing, and I want everybody to hear this. This is about standardization. So as a chaplain support team, if you are from the Northeast region and we need you in the Great Lakes region, you should be able to go into the Great Lakes region and work seamlessly with those chaplain support teams there, because everybody is trained to the same standard. And that is why those FEMA courses are important, that everybody take them, understand them, and then when you take the ChESS training, you are now building on that, and so that we can not just work within our wing and within our region, but we can go cross-region, and so that we'll be able to move in and out wherever CAP may need us.
Chaplain Van Don Williams, Chaplain Minor here, and again, thank you so very much for being with us this evening, sir. You've really added immeasurably to our perspective and our emergency services mission. We know that you are part of a very great team out there, really changing the way we do our work and the way we serve our communities. And on behalf of all of our students here, and we have 133 right now, we've had up to over 150 in previous lessons, but about a dozen of them happen to be sending me messages about something about this Group B thing going on that conflicting with this particular school.
Right.
but that's okay because it's all great education that's taking place, whether here in this college or in the ChESS program virtual right now. But again, thanks so very much for blessing us with your time. And on behalf of all of us, again, thank you for being here. You're welcome to stick around. We have more to talk about in terms of something new and a new perspective. You talked about, made reference to that third group, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording.